So on Saturday, March 15th, Big Games came out with the second portion of the Lucky Raid event. However, this is honestly one of the best updates for huge pets and quite possibly even Titanics for those that make it to a certain degree. Now, yesterday and the day before, I had to catch up a lot. I was only around 6,000, maybe even 5,000 on my raid levels. I had to reach a certain degree where I was able to basically do the heroic section of all 3 chests. However, it seemed like it was going to be extremely impossible, but they came out with an auto raid feature. Granted, it did have its bugs and you are able to do it, and I found out that if you're in a private server by yourself in World 3, the flawlessness of it working is perfect. So I let my computer go for the entire day Sunday, and I finally reached level 20,000 all by myself. Unironically, the supplies that I ended up using were just the previous boosts. Now this includes the damage boost tier 1, the EXP boost tier 1, and that was absolutely it. Finding the second tier ones are completely impossible, and this is honestly due to the new leaderboard system, so I honestly just didn't really care about it anymore, other than the fact that I just wanted to get to rank 15,000 at the very least so I could do the boss raids perfectly fine without struggling. So let's go over exactly absolutely everything so you guys can get the best out of both worlds. And this is the boosts, enchants, and farming absolutely the chests. Now this is just dedicated to the auto raid feature because this is the best way that I ended up getting a ton of huges, and I even got a Titanic. But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, as it does help me come out with more content like this for you guys, and it helps me out in the algorithm, so I appreciate you guys so much. So let's go ahead and get started. So, as somebody who is finally rank 20,000 at the very least, I'm so happy that I was able to do all of this. Now, all day yesterday, it didn't matter what rank level I was for all of the raids, I got a ton of huges. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 huge pets just from letting my computer just automatically grind and get raid level experience points, and I was honestly really shocked. I was updating my Discord server as much as I could every single time that I noticed that a hatch was made, so the amount of luck that I was getting yesterday was insane. But this is the interesting part because my huge chance for the chest itself was not maxed out. So if you're trying to get a bunch of huges out of the chest and just basically getting levels and stuff, I mean, it's the best of both worlds, right? So what I have this set to officially now that I'm at a comfortable rate where I could just go ahead and just not worry about experience and I can choose to do the boss raids, right? I have my raid pets set to 19, and it doesn't have to go beyond that. To be quite honest, it doesn't have to be this either, but I chose 19. My raid damage is completely maxed out. I didn't know what else to spend my other points that I had dwindling, so I put it on the raid attack speed. Everything else here, because I don't need to worry about absolutely anything else in this bracket here. No more speedy pets, I don't need those anymore. Cheaper eggs, I don't need that because I'm not hatching eggs. I don't really care about raid coins because I'm just focusing on the chests. EXP is no longer needed, so I don't need that anymore. But absolutely everything else will be maxed out for the better loot, better huge chance for the chest, better Titanic chance from the chest, a few for the boss key drops, and absolutely everything maxed out at the bottom. Now, the unironic part about this is when I walked away after finally putting absolutely everything that I wanted here, and mind you, this is literally 10 minutes after I walked away, I hatched this Titanic leprechaun dog. I ended up getting pinged in several servers, including mine and the Big Games Discord server, and some DMs as well congratulating me, so that's how I knew something ended up happening when I saw a bunch of pings. So this is where all the fun begins because we're going to basically go through this. Now, I know not everybody's going to be able to afford the books that I have here, so I will be doing 2 tests for this to basically see how hard this could be for somebody who doesn't have the book and somebody who does have the book. Finally inside, and I am going to go over the enchants right now because we're just going to go ahead and talk about this. Now, straight up, I have 23 pets. Now, this is not necessary for absolutely anyone, but for those that may not have a ton of good books, the more pets and the more damage that you end up doing, the better. You have to basically compensate for what you don't have. Now, we are going to be using the enchants as the following. Now, because I am at the stage where I don't really tend to care how many books that I have on, and to be quite honest, I break through absolutely everything because of the Mega Chest Breaker. This was given to me as a gift by Triple, so this helps out so much. You have absolutely no idea. But I also have to keep an open mind and a perspective that nobody can afford the book if they're free to play, and obviously if they don't have the gems for this event. So we are going to go through this very quickly. Now, the stat pet that I am currently using is a Rainbow Angelus Clover pet, and this does help out good, like actually really good. So we're gonna go through the first one here, and we're gonna go ahead and open this up, and we're gonna go blast through that. And to be quite honest, this isn't necessary, but it does help you go through the raid quicker, is a shiny hoverboard. Because walking and the auto raid feature is a little slow, you're gonna have to get something that moves a little bit more quicker in this event. Just because if you don't want to be here for like the longest time manually doing this hoverboard actually does help out. And it can be any hoverboard. It doesn't have to be the one that I'm specifically using, because that's like literally a billion gems too as well. So let's go ahead and open this up, and we're going to go ahead and go into the second portion of this, and we're going to go ahead and break this. This shouldn't take that long, honestly, and we're going to leave. Now, this is the part where everybody gets absolutely stuck, is this section here. And once you reach a certain level, you'll start noticing a ton of boss ones too. Like these jumbo-sized chests that have so much health on them. Alright, so before we open this up, I have a habit of opening this up because of the new lever that I unlocked at level 15,000. We're gonna go ahead and chill here for a minute. Now, as you can tell, even with the book, it's still gonna take a second to go ahead and break this. Now, obviously the health that it has is a lot. This is kind of comparable to like what you would see on Pet Simulator X, but obviously the game here is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to this by yourself. If you have friends here, I believe the health also goes up, and on top of it, it kind of breaks a little bit more quickly. Now, it balances itself out basically is what I'm trying to say. So we're here just chilling, and we're chilling. Okay, it's gonna take a second to break this, clearly, so we're chilling. So the damage that we're doing, if it stays still for like a second, it's not that bad. Obviously, we're doing billions, and some of them are even trillions, so that's really good. Now, I can't imagine a free-to-play player doing this by themselves without this book and having crazy pets, because this would take forever, I would imagine. Alright, so now that we made it, we're gonna go ahead and go back outside. Now, basically what I was ending up doing was the auto raid feature, which obviously works if you're in a private server in World 3, and if there is a patch for this officially now, then hypothetically speaking, you would do this in a public server and not worry about the character that you're using going into a wall, going into a pot, somewhere random, and getting stuck. Now, what it will do is open 1, 2, 3, 4 chests here, and then it will automatically refresh and go back to the beginning. That's basically what it does. Anything that requires a key, it's not going to go ahead and open for you guys. Now, let's go ahead and change the loadout real quick. If I were to be somebody who is completely free to play and doesn't have like these tremendous books, we're going to have to be realistic with the loadouts, right? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, this is something that I am going to be using if I was quote-unquote free to play. So we have a Criticals X, Strong Pets X, Tap Power X, Tap Teamwork, 1 Angelic, 1 Demonic, 1 Chest Breaker, and a Fireworks. Now, we have 1, 2, 3 books to go ahead and empower. This is 1, this is 2, and this is the final one. Now, clearly, everybody has their own enchant loadouts, so now I know everybody's gonna probably say that this isn't the loadout that I'm actually using. This is like a dumb loadout. This is just a hypothetical situation where I'm creating one just for the sole purpose of testing this. Now, since we have 23 pets, we're gonna go ahead and change this out. Not everybody's going to be running Titanics, rainbow shiny pets, golden shiny pets, rainbow pets for that matter. So these are all the pets that I'm running. So yeah, this is a little out there for those that might just not have those pets. So we're gonna equip him. And to be real, I'll probably equip these here because if if it's under like 100 million gems, I would see no reason for a player out there to have a pet that's worth 100 million or under, because I've seen players out there that are free to play that have crazy teams, and to be quite honest, it's very doable. So if it's under 100 million gems, we're throwing them in there. All right, so it looks like we've got a full team here, so we're gonna have to go inside officially and restart a new raid to go ahead and redo this again. Remember, I am still using absolutely the same type of boosts when it comes to the event. Now, I am missing some extra pets, so we're going to go ahead and fill in the empty void. All right, so these are all the pets that I am going to be using for this event. I am using the event huges and with a couple of pets that are actually under 100 million gems. I had to reiterate that because I saw some in there that are a little suspicious. Okay, so as you can already tell, it is a little slower, and yes, I changed my hoverboard for this as well. But it's not terrible. This isn't terrible. I know it's gonna completely change when I start doing the boss raid chests because they have higher tier health. So let's take a look at that. That one was really fast. This is really good for those that may not have like crazy pets. And so far, to be honest, this isn't actually moving as slow as I thought it would. All right, so even the bigger one is really easy. Oh my gosh, okay. Now, the enchants that I am using, again, they are these right here. They are empowered. I have 2 chest breakers, stuff like that. And to be real, this isn't moving as slowly as I thought it would be. I'm gonna continue to talk so you guys can actually visually see this basically live. That way there's not too many cuts. So we have our second section here. We're gonna go ahead and break the other chests here. And 3, 2, 1, bop, 1. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it takes about 4 or 5 seconds to break those. And let's take a look at this one, which is bigger. And to be honest, this one's gonna go by really quickly. Okay, I had to take a breath. I had to breathe for a second before I pass out from talking. Okay, now this is the bigger one that everybody's having issues with, clearly, so we're gonna go ahead and talk live so you guys can see everything still as we're speaking. So that's 1, 2, I think we broke like 4 chests already, so 5, and the 6th one is 3, 2, 1, bop, and our next one, bop. So those were pretty easy to break through, and this is open 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and now we're gonna go ahead and actually activate the last lever, and this is the important one mostly. All right, so this one has the highest health. This is 3.40 quintillion. This is a lot. So let's take a look at the actual health of this real quick and visually see it. So as you could tell, it's not doing the same damage as it was doing prior when I had absolutely all the different pets and absolutely everything that was equipped for me to go by quickly on this. So I could see where players are maybe having to spend some extra time in this area here specifically. Absolutely. So it's so important to upgrade absolutely as much as you can for this event. And whether or not you're using shiny pets, rainbow pets, like stuff like that, that's huges, you need to have those because they will help you out greatly as well. Now, is it absolutely necessary? No, not entirely. Will it help you overall when it comes to the raids? Yes. But remember, at the very end of the day, your enchants and your boosts, absolutely everything will help. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do the Lucky Raid Boost 1, and I have a ton of these too, so I have an arsenal of these that I can go ahead and use. So as you can tell, that's been turned on and it's doing more damage, which is absolutely amazing. Today's keyword is absolutely. Obviously, I'm gonna hear it in like my comments or in my Discord. Vapor Baby, I really like the fact that you said absolutely like 10 million times. That's today's keyword, absolutely. Oh my gosh. So what we're looking at right now is the chest. It's halfway health now, and what would this take? Maybe like a few minutes to go ahead and break versus like 1 minute under for somebody who has like a crazy team and books like up the wazoo basically. Okay, I had to breathe again because doing this live is kind of hard. Like if you're trying to talk consistently while trying to do this all at the same time, it's pretty hard. Okay, so I waited like 5 seconds, like literally 5 seconds, and we're still here breaking the chest. Now, I'm gonna be quite honest, I don't have a timer on me, but I could see this quite possibly taking about 4 or 5 minutes for somebody who doesn't have like a crazy team and the newest enchant here. Now, by all means, this does not mean like I'm telling you guys to go buy the book, because it is an expensive book right now, and I know when the event is officially over, that book is gonna drop dramatically in price, and obviously if there are ever clan battles that do require you to use use this chest breaker book, then perhaps maybe by then it would be smart to invest in for a later investment. But right now what we're watching is the current book not being used. So if I were to redo this whole raid with my normal team and my normal setup, we'll see how quickly this ends up breaking, and I'll have a side-by-side pretty much showcasing the two of them. So I'll redo this both at the same time so you guys can see how much time is saved. Counter-wise, I'm gonna have to pull out my phone. I'm gonna have to actually pull out my phone and time it, basically. So look how lucky absolutely everybody's been getting during this event too. Like, there's a ton of leprechaun dogs coming out and the Lucky Angelus, which is found in this chest here. So everybody's been getting super lucky. I guess that's why they're calling it the lucky raid, right? So I just have to continuously talk so you guys can see everything, and I'm gonna ramble on over here. So we're almost there, and we can go ahead and showcase the second portion of this, and you guys can see what you can do in order to basically zoom by this pretty quickly and get an automation going, because huges in the chests are pretty common at this point. All right, so we're almost there. We're at the very final stages of this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back. That's it. Oh my gosh. Unironically enough, on the supposedly free-to-play account that I am using, the free-to-play stuff that I'm showing is, I got a huge out of this. This is the first huge that I ended up getting from the boss chest itself. Granted, yes, it's a common one. It's only worth 24 million, and I know not a lot of players are able to afford this. So, for players out there that are just trying to farm purely just huges, stuff like that, I would really highly recommend you use stuff that is beneficial for yourself. Granted, it did take me 6 minutes in order to beat it, but this is the current orb section that I am using. You need to use this according to what you think might benefit you the most. To be quite honest, if you're inside of the raid itself and you're comfortable at whatever level that you're currently at, and you don't need experience points anymore, I would highly recommend that you guys maximize your raid damage and bring as many pets as possible while balancing the loot, the huge chest section, the Titanic if you're feeling extra lucky, and any of the other ones at the bottom. This is going to be the best way for you to actually just farm huges from just being AFK. Now, I don't really care about the egg stuff too much because I've only gotten a few huges out of the egg itself, but the chest itself is so beneficial. And this is not even including the gem farm with it as well. That's its own video on its own. But if you're not able to afford the brand new enchant, which I know not everybody is going to be able to, you're gonna have to mess around with a ton of books, but it's almost the same setup as you guys were using before. You just have to just be a little patient with it, and especially get your boosts. These do help out a lot greatly, and even if you don't have the capabilities of the second boost, the first one works just fine. And that's basically it. If you're gonna auto farm this whole event, all you have to literally do is create a new event. I would highly recommend just being in a private server by yourself and honestly go to World 3 and just leave yourself be. Now, we are going to use auto tap for this because why not? Actually, we don't even need to use that. We're going to go ahead and let it auto enable, and honestly, this is a little hard for mobile players and console because I'm not entirely sure how that whole setup works for you guys to not get kicked offline. So unfortunately, every 20 minutes, if you're not active on the game, Roblox will automatically detect that you're not there and it will kick you out. So think of it as this. The setup and everything that I'm showing absolutely works for everyone, so long as console and mobile are actively actually making themselves present inside of the game. This will work greatly for PC players because all you have to technically do is just click your screen and walk away, and that's it. So the automation works perfectly fine, and I haven't ran into any issues. Of course, for players out there, if you're walking away doing schoolwork, stuff like that, this will help greatly, and eventually you will be able to get huge pets from this. Of course, if you have a super crazy team, then this is no problem. I've been able to get 15 huges so far and a Titanic within the last 24 hours, and since we are on Monday now I can actually go ahead and just farm a ton of these. So this raid took 1 singular minute to finish out. And if you've made it to the very end of this video, I will be giving away 5 of the huges that I ended up getting from this event in this video here. Now, down in the comments down below, how many huges have you personally gotten from this event? Let me know. And of course, as always, make sure you guys like the video, as it does help me come out with more content like this for you guys. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and explain the gem process for this. And until then, I will see you all in the next video.
Okay, bye.
In the box, stuck in the box, stuck in the box. I got no social life because I keep doing these raids. Stuck in the box, stuck in the box. They came out with an auto raid feature which helps out a lot. It helps out a lot. I'm stuck in the box. I'm already heroic, dude. I'm stuck in the box. I'm stuck in the box. Stuck in the box, bro. I got no social life because we're all stuck in the box. Stuck in the box. This raid is causing me to actually become super duper rare and rich. Stuck in the box. Stuck in the box. I'm gonna be giving away 5 huges in this video because they're stuck in the box. Stuck in the box. They're gonna be crying because they got no home, and I'm gonna throw them inside of a box because they're gonna be stuck in the box, and you don't want them to get stuck in the box. See how fast this is actually going? This is some pro moves right here. Stuck in the box. Bro, break the box, break the box. I've broken the box, I've broken the box, I've broken the box. Break these boxes, go, go, go. Break these boxes. I don't care about the bundles machine anymore. Stuck in the box, stuck in the box, stuck in the box. Open this up, bam, bam. Open this up, bam. Legacy, bam. Legacy, Emerald Legacy moves over here. Now we gotta put this on. Breaking the box, I broke the box. Stuck in the box.